right, so go ahead and state your name and tell me your ride. What are we looking at?
Hi, my name is Kylin, and I drive a 2021 Subaru WRX 6-speed in the Rally Blue.
And don't forget, you have something else we were talking about. What's your muscle car at home?
So my classic car is a 1969 Chevy Nova. I threw a 327 in it. Originally had a 350 block. I replaced it with my dad. We took it to a couple boring shops and put an 80 over in it, run a 4-barrel Holly carb, and I've just been hot rodding that around since I was about 15. I inherited it from my grandfather when he passed, so it was just kind of a little family heirloom. I like to keep it in the family, keep it hot rod and just kind of old school style. That doesn't really exist anymore, so I get the best of both worlds.
I absolutely agree, and again, I really appreciate you talking to me. You're very well spoken for. Now tell me, again, there's the stereotype, women in cars. How did you break through that? How did you get your love and passion for it? And how do you deal with this mostly male crowd when it comes to cars and the car culture?
So I grew up on the reservation, and with that being said, there was not a lot of female things to do. You played softball, you were a cheerleader, or you just didn't do anything cool. That was just not a thing. So for me, I realized I wasn't going to be a cheerleader, and I didn't like books, but I liked going fast and I liked being loud. So I decided that cars were my thing. I had a couple cool friends in high school. A couple of them are at the meet tonight, and I just decided that I wasn't going to let any stereotypes get the better of me, and it started my passion in collection at a very young age. I think I was 15 the first time I'd gotten behind the wheel, and that's all it took for me. I was just hooked from day one.
Now, what advice could you give to those females also kind of going through some of those struggles out there? What would you say to help encourage them or help break through these negative stereotypes?
Well, I remember the first time my boyfriend told me I wasn't going to be able to drive a stick shift, and I smoked him in a race 2 minutes after that. I also remember the first time that one of the local guys, he had a brand new Camaro, and I pulled up with my grandpa in my passenger seat, and I did a burnout past him. I remember not letting anybody tell me anything I couldn't do because I immediately tried to do it right after that, and usually I found that I had a pretty good luck with that. I just put my mind to it and didn't let anybody stop me. And that's the same advice you'll hear from 100 different people, but it's true. I ended up in college. I ended up advocating for Native American tribal law. I really accelerated. I moved out of state, showed that I could do that even when no one believed in me. I paid for it all by myself. I mean, I really did the best I possibly could. So I really advocate for anyone who tells you no, screw them. Do it yourself.
And you're a testament to breaking through those barriers, and just that perseverance, I think, is absolutely crucial when it comes to that. Now, let's go back to your rides. You have this awesome JDM, all-wheel drive, super complex, but 2-liter, versus a big old 327 cubic, what is that, like 4 liters or no, 327? I forgot how many liters that is.
5.3. If you want to
5.3, yeah, okay, there you go.
If you want to get
so
technical.
Tell me the driving experience between those two beautiful cars.
Well, I will say this. I scrape everywhere I go. So there's obviously a big draw with the lowrider community. I get a lot of really positive feedback from them. And the one thing I will say is I can make your grandpa's skirt blow up, and that's a really good feeling. And the little kid on the side of the street that's just smiling when he sees me blow through Old Town or just give it a little gas on the way out of a signal, that little girl, that little boy that gets that smile on their face, there's no experience like that. When I drive my Subi, I tend to please a younger crowd, the young teenage guys that wish they were me when I'm ripping gears, but getting to drive that car, both of them just give me such a good sense and a good family sense, because I know I'm making someone else's day, and that is absolutely amazing. That's what it's all about. I don't care what you drive, as long as you're smiling while you're behind the wheel, as long as someone else is smiling with you. That's the whole point of this. I wouldn't be doing it if it didn't make me happy.
That's good. And then you found your love and passion with cars, and so I think once you find that niche, you're going to stick with it for a while, or it's always going to be a part of you and as you grow up and get older. And don't get older, trust me, it sucks. Last question. California's transitioning to electrification in the next 15 to 20 years. What are your thoughts of electric cars and kind of the future of the car culture?
So I will say this. My mom, and this is an odd intro to this question, but my mom named me after her 1997 Skyline. If you take the S and the E off the word Skyline, that's how my name is spelled, Kylin. So when my mom was in high school and she got a brand new Nissan Skyline and drove that around, she definitely had a taste for love and for JDM and everything associated with that before Fast and Furious existed, okay? This was before.
I was going to say, now, Skyline, how in the world?
Oh, yeah.
Is that another story? Just like 3 sentences. How the hell did that happen?
Oh, my my mom was pretty cool in high school. So needless to say, my whole family is a big advocate. Now, 2 years ago, she custom ordered her Tesla and it got delivered to us. And ever since then, her and I have had the fastest cars in our neighborhood for years. And honestly, nothing can really touch the electric vehicle market as far as speed goes, but I do, and I always will advocate for historic vehicles, whether it be a Model T from 1920s or whether it be a old classic rattly V8 from 1970. They still should be protected and deserved. And as far as where the electrical vehicle market will go, I'm not sure. I haven't fully decided my stance on that because there's a lot of factors that go into it. I hope not. I hope they're not all outlawed because it's what makes me happy at the end of the day, but you know, that kind of stuff is out of my control. That is the stuff we have to advocate for in the legal department. I wish we could protest it as much as I could, but at the end of the day, call your local lawyer, go petition, go advocate in the legal system for those changes to be made. That's the real way. Complaining about it isn't going to get us anywhere, but actually advocating and paying the people to do the job to get it done, those are the kind of steps that need to be taken.
Yeah, and I've always mentioned at this point it's going to be up to our local leaders and politicians not playing politics and really trying to be an advocate for the people and the car culture. But you know, we have to present a positive image, and I think that's what I'm trying to do with these YouTube videos and just go from there. But I really appreciate your time. I'm going to just take a couple of photos of your car, and thank you again so much.
Yeah, thank you